Hi, my name's Tony Tegtmeyer and welcome to Aerospace Engineering. It wasn't too long ago that I had high school students living in my house. And when I went to curriculum night, one thing I always wanted to know is, who is this person teaching my son or daughter? So I'm going to start with a little bit about that, who I am, what I'm about, how we do Aerospace Engineering class, and then we'll talk a little bit about the class as well. I'll show you where to find some resources, and then I'll let you go. Hope you have a great night. So, a little bit about me. I grew up in a small town in Iowa. Went to school at Iowa State University. Go Cyclones! Sorry, I can't say Iowa State without that. Got my degree in aerospace engineering, so it's funny I should actually be teaching this class, which I absolutely adore, enjoy, all those good words, which I'm sure you can imagine. I got my bachelor's there. Moved to California, where I spent a few years in the aerospace industry, working on the space station project. I worked a little bit on the space shuttle. Was there for about 2.5, 3 years. I lived 2 blocks from the beach, and I had no kids. I had the world by the tail. It was great. Then the world changed for me a lot. The administration in Washington changed our contract, and I was without a job. So we moved back here to the Plainfield, Naperville area where my wife is from. And I spent time in the automotive industry, as well as manufacturing and technology. And one of the things, excuse me, um, in those roles, and in over 20 years, I was always in some sort of technical role or engineering role. But I had a hybrid role for a lot of that time. I managed people. I traveled all over the world. I was in a role that allowed me to live both as in sales and marketing and engineering. And I thought that was awesome. It taught me a lot about not just engineering, but about business. And I learned that you can have the best idea in the whole world, but if no one will buy it, it doesn't make any sense. So those are the kinds of experiences I try to bring to class. I have been blessed to have 2 children, one wife. Yeah, that's right. 2 children, one wife, and 3 cats. This is my 8th year here at Neuqua Valley. I got my master's in teaching from National Louis University and did my student teaching here at Neuqua with Mr. Kennedy in AP Physics. And how I got here was I was doing that student teaching, and I found out there was an engineering job teaching high school engineering. And I thought, my goodness, how does that happen? I didn't even know there was such a thing. And so when I talked to the administrator, our current department chair, I said, what kind of person are you looking for? And she said, I'm looking for an engineer and someone that knows physics. And so, long story short, here I am. It's my 8th year, and I have not worked in 8 years, not because I haven't really worked, but because I just love my job, and it doesn't feel like work to me at all. I love working with the kids. I love helping them explore new things, and aerospace engineering, of course, is right up my alley. I was very honored to be named the Project Lead the Way Engineering Teacher of the Year in 2020, National Engineering Teacher of the Year, and runner-up before that. So I think hopefully I'm doing something right. Let's talk a little bit about the class. So in aerospace engineering, we really take a deep dive into both aircraft, spacecraft, and everything associated with that, with the background being engineering design, an engineering design process. So we look at things like materials. Why are airplanes not made of steel? Why are they not made of wood? What is on the inside of an airplane, and how do you analyze it? How do wings work? How do you get a spacecraft into space? So we take a deep dive into all those things. We have 4 units. The first unit is mostly about aircraft, and we do some really fun things in here, some really cool things with software. So we'll learn about aircraft and how they work, what makes them fly, how do you turn, how do you climb, how do you dive, all those things. We learn about navigation, and then we put that together in a flight simulator. So yes, the kids actually kind of play video games in class. Which, by the way, one of the ways that I teach this class is I don't lecture. I have videos, for the most part, that kids will watch sometimes during class, towards the end of class, or at night. So if you see your son or daughter watching a video on their phone and you say, hey, can you get to work? And they tell you that they're doing aerospace engineering, they probably are. And then what we'll do is we'll discuss those topics the next day, which allows us to have a lot more in-depth conversations than me lecturing and students trying to scramble and take notes. That has worked really well. We will do a lot of hands-on activities. We will build a glider. We'll design and build gliders. We'll design and build rockets, and these are not the rockets of the little Estes kits. They're bigger than that. They're not much bigger than that, but they're bigger than that. We will do some orbital mechanics with some really cool software and design a mission to Mars, for example. And then finally, the fourth unit is all about alternative applications. Think robotics. So think about the mission to Mars that was recently landed in 2020, earlier this year, with a rover and a drone. So we'll design things like that and kind of put things all together. That's kind of the big picture, the topics of what we do. Projects are going to be 50%. So a project would be a hands-on design project. I tend not to give old traditional tests because I just don't. Kids have a lot of test anxiety. It doesn't always tell me exactly what they know. Projects do a better job of telling me what they know. So that's why it's a 50% of the grade. Classwork, assignments, solving some problems, those are the other 35%, and then the remainder is going to be final exam. Late work is accepted up to 4 weeks, although it will be partial credit. And if you were here in person, I would actually give you an assignment. I would give you a little 3x5 card, but instead, it's totally optional, of course. I like to get to know my students well and as individuals. So if you feel that there's something I should know that will help me help your son or daughter in class, I would really like to know that. I've already kind of figured out who's quiet and who's not so quiet, and I can look at their transcript and so on. But is there something I should know, or do you think I should know that would help me? I would really appreciate that. So welcome to Aerospace Engineering. I'm looking forward to an awesome year, and feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.